Hello and welcome, I'm Kayla the Scrivener, and today I'm going to be doing the no disclaimers tag. So I'm celebrating my 3rd year on Booktube and I'm very excited. I don't know the exact date in May that I first posted because I deleted a lot of those early videos because I didn't figure out what editing was in the first month. So we have a lot of videos with little Kier just being super awkward and cringy and there's nothing edited out. So I deleted those videos a little while ago, and now I don't know exactly when I posted my first video, but I know that it was early May sometime, so here we are. I'll probably do a few flashback videos that are cool because I love redoing tags and it always seems like a good time to do it. So obviously I'm not going to give disclaimers because that's the whole point. I'm going to say some controversial things, hopefully, because, you know, that's what the clicks are loving. So the first one is tropes you hate. So I don't think I have controversial thoughts here. I hate the not like other girls because obviously girls are complex and nuanced and different, and also it's really sexist to just say that I am not like other girls, which means that I am better. And yeah, no, I don't like it. I also hate the, what am I saying? No death? Yeah, no. Kill off your characters. If you don't kill off a main character or a secondary character, where are the stakes? That's not realistic. It's really a bit fancy. Like, if it's a, like, rom-com, okay, that's fine. But, like, if we're going into battles, if we're having cool magical things happening and no one's dying, I want something. I want to care, and that's not going to make me care. Also, I hate love for the sake of love. Like, not everyone has a romantic interest in all of their different areas of life, and not everyone has love at the beginning of their life, and so many people don't meet their, like, soulmate or anyone until they're older. And this gave me such unrealistic ideas about love. Like, I should have about 5 children already because, you know, I'm not a young thing, and I should have gotten married when I was a teenager, I'm pretty sure. Next, we're talking about authors that you think are overhyped. And this is a complicated question because, like, obviously no disclaimers, but I also just don't want to trash authors for the sake of trashing authors because I'm hoping to be an author one day and I hope people don't be like, she's terrible. But I think Laini Taylor is a little overhyped in her writing style. Like, I think that when you put so much meaning and prose, it just becomes so overdrenched that there's nothing left. And I just find that I can't enjoy her books because even though I adore good prose, even though I adore lyrical writing and metaphors, it just becomes too much and I lose it. And also, like, you lose so much of the plot when you write this much about everything. And also, like, the plot is supposed to be about this, like, grand city, and it's just a romance, which is fine if you marketed it that way. But I was like, this is a cool mystery, not Afro projection love. What are my least favorite books since I started Booktube? And I have to put Heart of Darkness up here because I've hated a lot of books, but this one is outright problematic. This, along with, like, Dr. Dolittle, are probably, like, the ones where it's like, let's just be racist in Africa because we're a classic book. I also really don't like Catcher in the Rye. Like, I went to Montreal, I was sitting in cute cafes, it was all old architecture, I wanted to be that cool nerd reading that classic book, and no, it just wasn't for me. I think I should have read it when I was younger because it's the same reason, like, I was talking to my friend about this. I love the bell jar, it's great, but it's written in stream of consciousness. So if you're not connecting with the character, then being in her head, like, thought after thought after thought is really hard. And the same thing with Catcher in the Rye. I don't think it's, like, a terrible book. I just think I should have read it about 5 years earlier. And what else? I also really don't like Talon by Julie Kalaga. I think that it is just so trope-filled and, like, it had potential. It's about dragons. It's cool, except for it's mostly just contemporary. I don't like books that are marketed different than they are. Like, Three Dark Crowns can be the same way. Like, say it's a romance. Say it's a book about sisters. Don't say that it's a book about killing sisters because they don't kill each other, okay? Spoilers alert. Question about which books were ruined by their endings. And this has to be Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I freaking love this book series. I love her Luna Chronicles. I love her Heartless. I love this series. It was so complex. It had, like, who was right, who was wrong. I don't know because it's so complex. And of course, it's like, how is she going to end this? Because, like, who's right, who's wrong, you know? And then she was like, well, I'm going to make a clear black and white answer so that I can have a morality thing. Not really what I wanted. And then, like, weird, like, magical things in there too. It's just, it was so unneeded. I wanted a more, like, less clean ending, I think. And then we also have House of Salt and Sorrows. This is a beautiful book, really well written, really well mystery, horror, fantasy, except for the fact that it has, like, this unneeded love story, and then there's this epilogue that is just so unneeded. If you cut off the last, like, 4 pages of this book. This is a hard question for me to answer because I love death. I love that we kill off characters, and this question about which characters could you reverse their deaths or have them not die at all, I'd be like, No, because I think most characters should stay dead and also should die more. But this one is easy, I think, because it's Last Kingdom and this is a TV show, not a book series. However, it's kind of about people dying a lot. Like, I would say 80 to 90% of the cast dies, and it's a large cast. So this character, I'm not sad that he died, I'm sad in the way that he died. And this is Ragnar Ragnarsson, and he is the brother of our main character, and he is epic and amazing, and I never felt like we had the full completion of his like story arc, and then he was killed in such a senseless way. And part of the plot is that he was killed in a senseless way and that he didn't get the ending that he deserved. However, it's still frustrating as a reader. I wanted more of him, and I knew that he would die at some point, but I wanted him to die in a better way. Question number 6 is bookish pet peeves, and I'm taking this for physical bookish pet peeves because I kind of already talked about tropes and things that I didn't like in like the narrative of the book. So this book, it has to be stickers. Why? Especially like physical stickers that you cannot take off. Why would you do this to me? I don't want this sticker. The first thing I'm going to do is peel off the sticker, and when I can't peel off the sticker, I'm like, I hate life. So this is frustrating, and I also hate when you take it off and it's all too sticky. Just, I don't need a sticker on the top of one. It's not going to make me want to buy it anymore. And then we also have the fact that books come out in hardbacks only for the first year, sometimes few years, especially if it's not part of a series, and it's frustrating. I know it makes them more money and it's more marketable and fancy, and I get that, but like, I, first of all, don't have the money to buy hardbacks. Second of all, don't like reading hardbacks. They hurt my hands, they're heavy, they're just so much worse, and yeah, I just don't like them. So it's frustrating because like, I would probably pre-order more books if I could get them in paperback, but I can't. So I have to wait a year, sometimes 2 years, and then like, by the time, especially if it's a series of like 3 or 4 books, then I'm waiting however long to get the whole series in paperback, and I just don't like it. So the last question has to do with censorship and banning of books, and I think that this is a question that most of us agree that shouldn't be just taken out of books, that we shouldn't just limit and keep children especially away from reading books. However, I think that there needs to be rating, that there needs to be trigger warnings, and I think that onus is on the authors, although until it's completely on the authors, I think that it's kind of on us. We need to do better on giving notice to books so that other people aren't experiencing traumas or triggers because of that, because I've read so many books that I just wish I had not read, and I can't rate any higher because it was really unpleasant for me to read, even though it talks about something really good. And I was talking about this with someone else, like sexual trauma and stuff like that, and she was like, yeah, like I always thought I was the only one until I started talking to people, and like so many people, like the percentage of people of women who have experienced sexual trauma and children who have experienced sexual trauma is insane. Like, it's a large part of the population. There's no reason that there shouldn't be notice about these things, and like, it's just frustrating because like sometimes I'm in the space where I want to kind of look at it from a story point or so see myself in books. However, a lot of the time I'm not in that place. Like, I deal with PTSD. I don't always feel like I need to read about books like that, and I just want to be having a happy read, and then suddenly, smack, I'm like, great, I wish I'd known this before I picked up this book to just kind of like have an escapist moment. And then also suicide, like Evelyn Hugo, guys, like no one talks about the fact that it ends in suicide, and it's kind of justified as seen as a good thing, like seen as the thing that it's kind of taking back your own life. You know, you can find independence by taking your life, and that is not okay. Like, I have a whole video talking about the way that it presents suicide is not good, and like people could be like, I'm gonna pick up this cute little romance when I'm suicidal to feel better, and then nope. Like, I think that it shouldn't be a spoiler. Like, if these things are talked about in a nuanced and great way, then we don't need them to be spoilers. You shouldn't need to be shocked, and these things aren't things that should be used as shock reveals, because then they're not being talked about well. So why can't we just have good nuanced conversations about traumatic things and also let people know? Also, don't just ban books because you don't like the things that are represented in them. But I think that we should allow people to know so that they can be prepared or choose not to read them. Anyways, on that happy note, happy reading and writing. You can catch me on social media where I post a little bit more, especially on my Instagram. It will all be linked below, and Goodreads reviews, and I will see you very soon. Happy reading and writing, and thank you guys so much for supporting me over the last 3 years. It means so much for you to listen to me rant on the internet.